Welcome back for another We're Racing video, and you join us for the Supreme Racing Championship Monaco Grand Prix. This is season 1 finale. Who's going to take away the coveted Drivers and Constructors Championship? It's all to be decided, all to play for in this final round of the championship. As we can see our grid here, we've qualified P4. Dan's just up ahead of us with his teammate, and PR Dominique as well, I do believe. So we're going to get into this one. We're going to go straight into the action because we're itching to go now. So we got 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go for the Monaco Grand Prix. It's a pretty good start off the grid there. We get a good launch. We're going down into turn 1, holding position. We go to the outside of Dan. Oh, very lucky there not to go into the barrier and get squeezed. And we also had Flatliner up alongside us in the inside going into 1. As you can see, Dan has got a pretty decent start. The first 2 cars though have got a bit of a leap there. We've got yellow flags up behind us. There must have been some kind of incident, but it looked like everyone got through pretty well in terms of turn 1. So we've got safety car deployed on lap 1. Let's get an off-board of the start of the action, going down in towards the first major turn. And as you can see, everyone coming through, and a few people getting a bit punchy there at the back, bouncing off each other, but I think a few end plates were the only casualties there. We've still got 19 runners in this Grand Prix. Safety cars coming in at the start of lap 4 here, and we're looking to get a good start. We know Dan's got pace, so we're not going to be able to attack him too much. We want to stay with him. He's also a huge contender for the driver's title, so we don't want to ruin his race in this Grand Prix. So we need to keep it smooth, steady and consistent. Try and keep that nose clean, and try and make this strategy really work, because track position is golden here, is everything, and it will get you the win if you get in the right place at the right time. So we're going to hang on to the back of Dan. He's going to be towards the front of the grid, we know that for sure. But we've got to be really careful, especially around this sector here, in terms of not to like rear end someone and just damage your wing for no obvious reason, because you do have to brake a lot earlier when you're chasing the car around the streets of Monaco. As we can see, we've caught up to Dan here. He does have some wing damage. He kindly lets us free. He must realise there's no point in fighting at that point there. He's got to play the long game now and try and bring this championship home. That's released us up into P3. We've got Rogue up ahead. He's fighting for the lead of this Grand Prix. Going into lap 6, he's right up the gearbox of the leader. And really feeling good in the car. Good pace at this time in the race. As you can see, Rogue with a fastest lap there. Really applying, turning the screw there on the car in front. We've got Toro Rosso leading the Grand Prix at the current moment. As you can see, we've got another safety car deployed on lap 6, so we've not been racing for too long, and we've made the bold choice under this second safety car now to actually box, and we're going to go to the end of this Grand Prix. So we've rolled the dice, we've shown our hand now, and we're going to put on a set of hard tyres. As you can see, no damage to the front wing, and we're looking to go to the end. It's a big ask. We're going to be talking when the safety car is finishing about 30 laps on these tyres, but they will do it, they will manage it. And we just got to manage the pace as well, because it's going to be really tricky on the hard tyre around the streets of Monaco to keep it out the barrier, because we know it likes to slide. We're coming out side by side with Monkeys here, and he just gets through on the pit exit there. So opportunistic for Monkeys. He had the foot down, and as you can see on the end of lap 9 actually, we're actually getting ready to go racing once again. So it's going to be lap 10 once we've got green flag racing again. We're up behind Monkeys. We've dropped down to P6, but remember, we're going to save a lot of time on the pit stop phase later on in this Grand Prix. So coming down into 1, Monkey's very early on the brakes there. He's on the medium tyre. Must be getting quite old now. That's the only thing I can imagine. Probably about 10 laps worn, etc. And we're on a fresher hard tyre, which does feel a lot fresher by the looks of things. So we're going to try and stay with Monkeys, get up alongside him. He's got a really poor exit. And we're going to go side to side in a very bad place here. I'm going to think better of it, Rich. We're just going to cut back in there and slot in behind Monkeys and live to fight another day. That's what it's all about here, just to drive to survive, literally, boys, drive to survive. And on lap 10 of this Grand Prix, we're currently in position 6, feeling pretty good with ourselves. We know we're going to make a couple of positions in terms of the strategy, but you never know when the safety car is going to come out as well. We've already had 2. How many we're going to have in this Grand Prix? What is the maximum that's allowed? Do let me know in the comments below. So as you can see here, going side by side with the Red Bull, very dangerous move there from myself, but we did have a speed overlay. Tried to get the pass done, but it was a bit too risky, so we dropped out of it. So moving into the following lap, again being extra careful, braking very early here, just to try and keep it out the back of Monkeys. We've got PR Dominique. He's also on the hard compound. He's really started to apply the pressure now. but again, he's being quite safe with his driving, backing off a bit earlier into the corners because I've got great pace at the minute. I just can't really stretch the legs, that's the thing. So it's probably good in terms of the long stint as well. It's going to preserve the tyres hopefully a bit better. You can see there's a bit of debris there off Monkeys, I think it was, and he's gone into the barrier as well and lost the complete end plate now on lap 11 of this Grand Prix. So that's going to slow him right down, but he's got a slower car up ahead of him as well, which is checking his pace slightly. So coming in to start lap 12 of the Grand Prix, we've got Rama, Monkeys, and then myself. You can see Monkeys gone into the barrier there. That allows us up the inside, going down into one. We've got the position done, and yeah, that was gift wrapped from Monkeys there. So thank you very much, Monkeys, and unlucky as well, champ, to put it in the wall there. So moving into the end of lap 12, we've caught up to the back of Rama now, and we're starting to apply the pressure. He's going to be extra defensive when the DRS is enabled like now, and we're just going to dummy him into one. We can't really take a punt really, so we're just going to have to try and pressure cars ahead of us without getting too close at the same time and ruining our race, because if they have a mistake, it's just going to be a domino effect, and we'll be at the Grand Prix as well. So into lap 13, Rama really struggling with his tyres now. We've got another car in the pits now. Who is this just coming to the pits? It's a flatliner into the box, and yes, coming in to start lap 14 of the Grand Prix. That's moved us up into position 3. So starting to look pretty good. We've still got Pierre Dominique really applying the pressure from behind, so we have to be extra careful with our racecraft right now. And yeah, trying to apply the pressure to Rama. He's got a bit of worn tyres. I think you started the Grand Prix, did you, on them, Rama? Do let us know in the comments below if you're watching. And moving into lap 14 now. Surely Rama's going to be boxing pretty soon. His tyres look very second-hand, but yeah, we can still apply the pressure. We're feeling it as well. Getting a sweat on at this point in the Grand Prix with Pierre Dominique right up behind us. We know he's got some good pace in the car. And coming down into one here, keeping it nice and consistent. We don't want any penalties as well. Monaco is notorious for getting penalties, corner cutting one, of course, out of the tunnel going into that little chicane there. And as you can see, back marker trying to get out the way and putting himself in the wall. We do remember, if you're getting lapped by another car, then it will just go straight through you, so you don't have to worry about that. And as you can see, coming into lap 16 here, we've got a car just coming out the pits behind us there, and that's put us up into position 2 now in the Grand Prix. Rama is leading the race, and we really want to get a move on now, because this is the time to start to stretch our legs and try and get a bit of a gap to the field behind, especially Pierre Dominique, because he's got exceptional pace, and we really need to try and get past Rama, and hopefully he will hold up Pierre Dominique as well. The only real option is down into turn 1. We really need to get a good exit out the final corner. Coming into this corner, this is really not a good overtaking opportunity. Most likely going to end up in the barrier. But Rama's holding on pretty well, driving pretty consistently at this point in the Grand Prix on lap 16 of 39. What can we get for the end of this race? A bit slow in the apex there. We're feeling really pacey now, and we're really getting impatient and really want to just try and get this move done. As you can see, coming into the final corner, running a bit wide there. But he gets a good exit out the final corner, and we're not going to get the move done on this lap by the looks of it. Going down into one here, yeah, we're a long way off, and it's going to take a major lunge. Something we don't want to do. You can see a bit of lag there as well from Rama. The car's jittering about forwards and backwards ever so slightly, so that's always off-putting, especially if we've got some lag around the streets of Monaco. So lap 17 of 39, you can see he's just touched the inside. It's pushed him to the outside, and it's so unfortunate for Rama there. He's got damage. He was doing so well, but he just succumbed to the pressure, or just made a mistake. I don't know what happened, Rama. But that's moved us up into position 1. Rama's still in P2, making a good job there. And moving in now to start lap 18 of the Grand Prix. Surely Rama's going to pit and repair that damage. That's moved TRC Rose up into position 2. He's also in the hard compound of tyre, and Harry West is in P3. So on to lap 18, you can see our DRS is failing. The tyres are looking like they'll just about get us to the end comfortably without too excessive wear. And as you can see, Rogue has retired from the session. On lap 21, we've got a VSC deployed. Be extra careful with your VSC, guys. They have changed the rules of engagement slightly with that. You do have to have a positive delta at the time of the green flag, otherwise you will get a drive-through. Before it was slightly different, you could boot it. We've got a Red Bull in the barrier there. Who was that? Let us know what happened. And we're down to 15 runners now, boys. 15 runners on lap 21 of the Grand Prix. So we're racing once again, green flag racing, even though that car was parked up in a very dangerous and precarious position. But yeah, looking to bring it towards the end of the Grand Prix. Hopefully no more safety cars now. Hopefully we get a clean run. But that's a lot to ask around the streets of Monaco. So moving into lap 26, we've been getting our head down. We've had some really good pace, and we've got Mers up to P2 now. Flatliner is in P3, so some of the other boys have made their probably final pit stop of the Grand Prix, and that's shuffled the order. So yeah, we've got a pretty good gap, as you can see there on the times. Feeling pretty comfortable, just trying to keep it. We're not looking for the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, we're just looking to keep it out of the barrier at this point. And as you can see, disaster for us. There's a safety car being called on lap 30 of the Grand Prix. This is really not what we wanted. We built up a really nice gap there, and now that is going to be utterly diminished, and we're on old tyres, so we've made the bold call to actually pit. Are we going to have enough time to get in and out on the set of red stickies? Let's see what's going to happen. We're going to have about 6 laps of racing most likely at the end of this Grand Prix, and we need a good slick stop, boys, and it's a 2.5. Good stop, chaps. Where's it going to bring us out? Has Mers come into the pit? We got a car going down pit lane here, going through, and yep, we've managed to hold P1 coming out of the pits, which is really, really great for us because we've got a fresh set of tyres now, and it's going to be pretty hard to get past us towards the end of the Grand Prix. So yeah, coming out behind the safety car now. We're going to bunch up the order. We're going to get ready to go racing in just a minute again. So really starting to feel the pressure now. We don't want to push the car too much. We're getting a bit tired. We're getting a bit fatigued. And yeah, we know Mers and Flatliner have got some really good pace. Everyone's on a new tyre pretty much. I think Mers has stayed out. I'm not quite sure. What did you do, Mers? Did you pit under that final safety car? Is that a fresh medium or is that an existing one? Do let us know. I'd probably say an existing one. But getting ready to go racing, just controlling the pack now, and we've decided to bolt before these last sequence of corners just to catch them out there. And starting the Grand Prix once again, we've got a pretty good jump there. Mers was pretty good to read it, even though he's on their medium tyres. Got a pretty good launch out the final corner, and Flatliner is in P3. So green flag racing on lap 33 of the Grand Prix. We've got 6 to go. What's it going to be? Can we bring it home to the flag? Can we keep it out the barrier? More importantly, that's going to be the optimal thing for this race. And yeah, just trying to keep it smooth, steady and consistent. Really getting into the flow now. And you do go into a bit of a trance-like state when it comes to Monaco. You just really need to zone out and get in the rhythm, go into autopilot. And yeah, if you do have to try and slow down, it can throw you off a bit and put you into the barrier like we saw with some of the great drivers of the past. So coming into lap 34 of the Grand Prix, we're still holding into P1. We've got a pretty good gap now to Mers behind us. Sorry, Flatliner's just got through. Mers must have boxed, but there's been a problem for Mers, and Flatliner is up into position 2. And that was the end of the race pretty much, chaps. Flatliner's going to bring it home P2, showing some really good pace towards the end of the Grand Prix there. Dan is going to come across the line by the looks of it in P3 unless he gets any penalties. Let's see how it's going to shake out. We've got no penalties ourselves. Kept it clean, smooth, steady and consistent, and that's what's won us the Grand Prix at Monaco. Great feeling in that one. Good racing, lads. It was pretty much the luck of the draw when safety cars, strategy, etc. But it's going to be myself, Flatliner. Dan's going to finish third. That's going to give him the World Drivers' Championship. Congratulations on Season 1 Championship, Dan 23. Then we've got Little John P4. PR Dominique, what happened back in P5? We must have some incidents further into the race. Sorry, he's dropped, he's got some penalties. Promoted Immortal up to P5. Maitland, my teammate for next season. Looking forward to that, Maitland. He's in P6. We've got PR Dominique in 7th. Rama in P8. We've got Mers in P9. And then we've got Rose in P10, the final points paying position. And we've got Elham. We've got Harry West. And we've got King Mayo and Gingy Nutt, our final finishers of the Grand Prix. Congratulations to everyone who finished. Unlucky to everyone who didn't. Thoroughly enjoyed that Grand Prix, of course, winning it to my first win in TSRC, and yeah, I did sweat for that one at some point in the Grand Prix. It wasn't all straightforward, and I'm pretty happy winning it off 4th on the grid there. Congratulations, like I say, to Dan on winning the World Drivers' Championship. Really well deserved, consistent driving, really good pace, and had some real good action side by side with him. So appreciate that, chaps. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give us a thumbs up. Really appreciate that. Share it any way you like, and don't forget to hit the bell notification, and of course subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching the Wheel Racing video, and you'll join us again soon. We'll be getting the calendar season racing. Got the Belgian Grand Prix coming up, and I look forward to the opening round of Season 2. We're going to be in the Mercedes of TSRC, and the first race is going to be at Monza. So that's going to be a spicy one. Join us for that soon, and stay safe. Bye-bye.